Here's your wrestling news for May 17th, 2021. And your headlines for today include Identities of Zombies at WWE WrestleMania Backlash. Former WWE Champion tells angry fan to send a tweet to Vince McMahon. Charlotte Flair's Cruella de Vil-inspired WrestleMania Backlash gear causes big reaction. WWE announces Hell in a Cell for June, breaking yearly October tradition. WWE Money in the Bank reportedly set for July with live fans. Video of wrestlers setting opponent's crotch on fire goes viral. A huge name spotted backstage at WWE WrestleMania Backlash. Former World Heavyweight Champion puts Matt Serra in a headlock at UFC 262. Vince McMahon's priceless reaction to RVD gift. Braun Strowman opens up about struggles with body dysmorphia, and more. We are kicking off today with WrestleMania Backlash, as the show saw an invasion of the undead during the show. For the lumberjack match between Damian Priest and The Miz, zombies were at ringside to promote Batista's new Army of the Dead film, and we now know who those reincarnated creatures of the undead actually were. Fightful Select reports that these zombies were Performance Center wrestlers including Joe Gacy, Daniel Vidot, and Cal Bloom, though it was hard to tell under all that makeup and prosthetics. It was also reported that Jiro Kuroshio and Asher Hale may have been there too, in what was an interesting experience that nobody was expecting when they tuned into WrestleMania Backlash. Unsurprisingly, these zombies haven't gone down well with fans, many of whom saw the match as too goofy to be taken seriously on a WWE pay-per-view. Given the entire zombie premise was designed to promote Batista's Army of the Dead movie, many fans are pointing their fingers at the animal, but he isn't taking the blame for the company's booking. When one fan tweeted Batista that they love him but considered zombies at Backlash as an insult, the animal fired back in an expletive-laden tweet, asking why the fan is telling him and that he should be tweeting Vince McMahon instead. Ultimately, every decision in WWE goes by McMahon, so he must have greenlit the use of zombies as lumberjacks, but this promotion for Batista's new film seems to have backfired for the former WWE World Champion. If WrestleMania is a night where WWE superstars go all out on their costumes, it makes sense that there were some unique looks at WrestleMania Backlash. For the Raw Women's title match, Charlotte Flair wore a Cruella de Vil-inspired attire that didn't go unnoticed by fans, though there's no word on if this was a part of some deal to promote the upcoming new movie starring Emma Stone. For his SmackDown Tag Title victory, Rey Mysterio wore a Batman-themed attire, specifically the bright gray, blue, and yellow of the 60s Adam West series. The logo on the chest wasn't actually Batman because WWE didn't want to pay for those license fees, but it was pretty easy to tell what WWE's Ultimate Underdog was going for. It's expected that Rey and Dominic will be competing at next month's pay-per-view, which will be a show fans weren't expecting. Whilst it was expected that the June 20th pay-per-view would be Money in the Bank, it was confirmed during last night's WrestleMania Backlash that next month's show will be Hell in a Cell. Since the show's inception in 2009, Hell in a Cell has been held in October, with the exception being the 2018 show, which was mid-September, and this is the earliest on the calendar the show will happen. PW Insider reports that WWE made the decision to change the pay-per-view calendar last week, and there's no word on what event will replace Hell in a Cell in its usual October spot. When Hell in a Cell concludes next month, then there'll only be one pay-per-view before SummerSlam, which will be the yet-to-be-named event on July 18th. We may know now what show will be in July, as Andrew Zarian of the Madman Wrestling podcast tweeted that July's show will be Money in the Bank. The reasoning is that Money in the Bank is one of WWE's most popular shows of the year, and WWE plans on having it take place with live fans. According to reports, July 16th, 18th, and 19th will all see WWE events with live fans as a trial to see whether it's time to bring back crowds full-time. And though no location has been confirmed for Money in the Bank, which is still a rumor at this time, fans could soon once more see the titular ladder match in person. Now, Deathmatch Wrestling has received a spotlight thanks to Vice's Dark Side of the Moon, focusing on names like Nick Gage and the late New Jack. But this week, Deathmatch Wrestling went viral for a very strange reason. During a show hosted by Pro Wrestling Trainwreck, one wrestler was able to set another wrestler's crotch on fire and then used a weed whacker to nail him in the baby maker one more time. This was a hard spot for many people to watch, as the tweeted clip had a lot of criticism from fans who didn't appreciate this kind of wrestling, but it also got over 1 million views and a ton of positive responses. Whatever you think, this spot was certainly something you wouldn't see in more mainstream promotions, and we can only imagine that somewhere, Jim Cornette is seething in anger. Back to WWE, and Tyson Fury's one and only match with the company came at Crown Jewel 2019, but the Gypsy King still remains close to WWE. Despite taking place on the closed-set Thunderdome, Fury and his son were backstage at WrestleMania Backlash, and WWE shared some photos of the pair meeting Rey Mysterio and Vince McMahon. Going backstage was a dream come true for Fury's son, and with the boxing star continuing to tease a match with Drew McIntyre, this probably won't be the last time that Fury and his kid are spotted behind the curtain. Now recently, WWE were offering tryouts to AEW stars with the hopes of bringing them away from the All Elite promotion, but this week, the tables have turned. One name who recently had a tryout for WWE is Natalia Markova, but she'll be competing on AEW Dark Elevation, where she'll face Layla Hirsch in Markova's debut for the company. We'll have to see if this booking encourages WWE to give her a call, as this recent tryout with WWE was her second tryout with Vince McMahon, and she's looking to work more as things seem to be getting back to normal. One name WWE is always ready to bring back is Bill Goldberg, who hasn't been seen since his loss to Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble, but the Hall of Famer is always ready to throw down. When Goldberg attended UFC 262, the former Universal Champion was seen greeting UFC Hall of Famer Matt Serra with a headlock and then a friendly kiss on the head. Fans in attendance enjoyed this moment, which was caught on camera, and with Goldberg promising that he has more dates on his WWE contract, we'll have to see who's next for the WCW legend when he returns to TV. Earlier this year, RVD was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame after a high-flying career that saw him achieve titles wherever he went. During the new Icon special dedicated to Van Dam, Vince McMahon and Triple H are shown at the Hall of Fame ceremony, telling the former world champion just how much he changed the business for the better. McMahon especially said how so many superstars tried to emulate RVD in what was a humbling moment for the usually confident high flyer. Van Dam had more than kind words for McMahon in response, as he produced a set of rolling papers from his custom line of paraphernalia, a gift the chairman was delighted to receive. With success in ECW, WWE, and TNA, Van Dam's induction was a long time coming, and was one that was well-deserved if you ask the top two men in WWE. Speaking of TNA, Impact has reached new levels of popularity recently, thanks in part to their partnership with AEW, but Impact could soon be losing a major name to the All Elite promotion. Yesterday, Impact removed Don Callis from their website listing of company executives in an interesting move, given how much effort Callis has put into the promotion in recent years. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained that he's been told by sources at Impact that it's expected for Callis to leave the company, with the belief that he'll be joining AEW full-time as Kenny Omega's manager. On a recent episode of Impact, Scott D'Amore approached Callis, asking if his allegiances lie with Impact Management or the AEW World Champion, and it turns out that question wasn't just for TV. It's worth pointing out that Callis' removal from the Impact Wrestling executive listing could be part of a storyline, as nothing is confirmed yet, but fans can probably expect to see more of him on AEW Dynamite alongside Omega, and less on Impact Wrestling. Speaking of the cleaner, Omega remains an AEW contracted performer, but will soon be defending his Impact World Championship. During this past Saturday's Under Siege special, Moose defeated 5 other wrestlers to become the #1 contender for the Impact World Championship and will challenge Omega at Against All Odds on June 12th. Interestingly, Under Siege also saw Omega come up short, as he and the Good Brothers lost to Eddie Edwards and Finjuice, and we'll have to see if Moose can take back Impact's top prize next month. For the past few weeks, former WWE star Ryback has been trying to find out what fans want him to do next, and now the big guy has the answer he wants. After all previous polls told him to retire, a result Ryback blamed on widespread voter fraud, the latest poll shows that 46.4% of fans who answered want to see him return to WWE. In a subsequent tweet, Ryback thanked fans from India for not voting for him to retire, though it's unclear how he could tell where this mass dump of votes came from. In that same tweet, Ryback said that if the poll didn't get 50,000 votes, then it doesn't count, and this may be a problem for him since the poll only got 19,159 responses. Though Ryback has said that any poll under 50,000 responses don't count, he may never get a result not telling him to retire again. And whilst some fans have said that he should return to WWE, that'll be easier said than done for the man who once branded Vince McMahon as a pimp. And we're ending with Braun Strowman, who is a true specimen in WWE, but the monster among men doesn't always feel that way about himself. Speaking to TMZ Sports recently, Strowman discussed his recent announcement that he's training for a bodybuilding competition and explained how he continues to worry about how he sees himself. He said, "I used to struggle and still do struggle with body dysmorphia. I struggled with bullying growing up because I was a chubby little kid, and then I grew into this gigantic mongoloid of a human being that I am, and I'm still judged for it because people look at me and go, 'Oh, this big meathead.'" In WWE, Strowman has had an incredible career, including being a Triple Crown champion, as well as the Greatest Royal Rumble winner, and the fact that the Raw superstar still deals with confidence issues just goes to show that even monsters have insecurities. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.